Hello. Welcome back, everybody, to the Girls That Get It podcast with your hosts, Ken and Han. We are back for episode 9, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about kind of a lot of random things, some fun things that have happened the last weekend. Ken went to Nashville. Yeah. I graduated, little sneak peek, and then we're going to do a little random Q&A at the end. So first is highs and lows. As always, Kenna, you can take the floor.
Woo! So my high is that this past week I went to Nashville Wednesday through Saturday. And I just had a great time. It was very spontaneous, kind of last minute, but I love that.
I'm excited to hear. Obviously, you need to tell us your low first, but I've heard like low-key nothing about this trip, so I'm excited.
I was going to say, Han doesn't know.
I only know like tiny pieces.
Yeah, it was a great time. I was just so happy to be like out of my element. I'll have you read the text messages I sent you here in a second. But my low is honestly coming back home. I just felt like such a shift in energy of myself, kind of go to not like my favorite version. I just feel like I view home as such like a relaxing vacation thing. Like I'm naturally lazier. I'm naturally like just not thriving in the same like energy as when I'm off on my own, exploring new places, just like, I don't know. And I got that every day when I was living in New York. So I just feel, I don't know, I just want to be somewhere else. And then also I think I'll explain why I went to Nashville in a little bit, but I'm not worried, but I'm kind of in this waiting period to hear back about things. And it's kind of hit me coming back. I was on top of the world and I was like, things are great. Like, I'm going to find out soon. And now I'm like, why haven't I found out yet? Like, or like, I could still not get what I went for. So you never know. But what about you? Highs and lows?
My high, I think, is pretty obvious, at least to you, and probably anybody else who's listened, because we talked about it a lot, I feel like, is that I finally graduated college. Woo-hoo. It finally happened on Saturday. Excuse me. Hold on. I need to take a sip of water. My throat's feeling scratchy.
We're going to fill this audio by me just, filling the gap here. Pretty big week, Proud of our girl.
Back. I graduated college, and it was low-key, like... It's funny because you like wait for this day forever and it's like, OMG, it's going to be the best day ever. You're on top of the world. It was low-key boring AF. Like the ceremony. The ceremony was. Well, there was 2. So I'll get into that later. Yeah. But it was also really fun to celebrate like with my friends. And I feel like the highlight of the graduation process is like the celebrating after and realizing that you're done. It's not really the sitting in an auditorium listening to people talk. While that's cool, it's like the whole experience that makes it exciting. But I'm very happy, and I had like a weird online class at a different school that I had to transfer over, and I finally took my last exam ever today. So now I'm like officially done forever, unless I go back to more school. But with undergrad, I'm out.
For now, she's done.
And I never have to see an undergraduate test or paper or assignment or anything ever again. So that was definitely my high. I'm very happy. Thanks. And then my low is also about graduation day, but it's not about my graduation. It's that it was pouring rain.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
Like at the worst time of the day, we
literally
came out of the last ceremony because I had 2 different ones. And it was, first of all, it's always just a mess trying to leave any big event with several thousands of people because you have to deal with the traffic. You have to deal with the floods of people trying to get out of the doors. And it's just like crazy as it is. But it started to pour rain as soon as we got outside. And of course, we had to walk a long way to get to the car. Of course, there was all kinds of traffic. And we ended up like sending my boyfriend and my brother to get the 2 cars that we brought, and we lost them, couldn't find them. We were standing in the rain. I was walking barefoot in the pouring rain, like drenched head to toe in my cap and gown. And it was just really stressful because I was the one like on the phone trying to call both of them and see where they were. And my phone was getting wet and it was starting to glitch. And I was just like, oh gosh, just chaos ensued. And it was really stressful. So that was my low, but we got through it and it ended up being fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into that more later because Kenna was also there for the latter part of the evening and weekend. Yeah. But I want her to talk about Nashville first, and you tell me what you did, how it was, and then if you don't touch on the like questions I have about it, then I'll ask. Sure. Not anything big. I just have like a couple things that I want you to say about it. So go ahead.
Sure. So for the audience, no one really knows why I was in Nashville, and let me just say, the DMs, when I say they were popping, I'm not saying people were hitting me up about whatever. That's a different conversation. But the amount of people that commented, slid in, and was like, "What are you doing? Where are you going? Who are you with? What's up?" And I was just like, I did not realize I mattered this much. People are invested, and a lot of them were more like curious, just like excited for me, not like in a nosy way. But there was definitely some nosy Nellies, and I was like, "Wouldn't you love to know?" And I didn't really realize in the beginning. Like when I post, I try to have a good balance of like living in the moment, but like also being able to share certain things real time. So I didn't really realize until like the last day that I hadn't given away like where I was at. Like I didn't put a location. I didn't put like a recognizable landmark. I just put like a cowgirl shirt and a plane and me and like
I didn't even realize that either. Also, because I knew where you were, so I didn't think about it. But that's funny.
And it was kind of obvious because a girl that I know that lives in Texas, she was like, "Are you in Austin?" And I was like, "Why would she think that? How does she know?" And obviously, everyone, if you know me, you know I've wanted to move to Austin for like the past year, so I guess it makes sense. But I was like, I guess it does. Like, it kind of just gave country vibes. It didn't give away where it was.
Yeah.
So on the last day, I did post that like one of like the famous bars. On Broadway in Nashville, and I was like, hopefully people get it now. But anyway, I was thinking about it, and I'm kind of glad I did that because I went alone, and as a female, and not that I have a large following or anything like that, and even the people that I know, I'd like to assume everyone out there has good intentions, but especially as a female traveling alone, I think it was probably a smarter move to keep it that way, at least until like the day I left. Just for safety reasons. And I'm not saying I'll always do that. And I'm not trying to be shady. I'm not trying to make it look like I'm doing something I'm not. And I thought it was funny that so many people thought, they're like, "Who are you going to visit?" Like,
nobody.
Like, I'm here by myself.
Not you.
And why I was there was a job interview. So, but I will say on that note, I have gone on so many solo trips, not even planned. It just works out that way. And if you are a girl or anyone that's scared to do things alone, don't be. My motto, and the reason why I started doing this is because originally people kept canceling on me for plans. And I was like, I'm tired of not living because of other people. I'm going to go. I don't care. I'll make friends. And that leads me to my first bullet point is I made a friend within the first 30 minutes of being there.
How did that even happen? I mean, I know briefly, but like tell the fans.
It was quite amazing. So since I was there for a job interview, I landed, got my rental car, checked into my hotel, unpacked, whatever, and then immediately was like, let me drive to where I'm supposed to go tomorrow for my job interview. So I know the traffic route. I know what it looks like. I'm not in a new environment for the first time. I also knew there was a lot of stuff around RH. So I was like, that kind of gave it away. I don't know. Whatever.
I was about to be like, oops,
let that slide. That I can do for dinner, whatever. So I went, didn't go in because it's kind of like an appointment thing. Also, I didn't want to like give them my name or let them know I was there early. Anyway, so I saw it. But of course, if you know me, you know my favorite place in the whole entire world is Aritzia, like for store-wise. And they had one in that same shopping center. So walked in, was doing a little look-see. Wanted to get my mom a Mother's Day gift, but they didn't have what I was looking for in her size. So held off on that, but they had this really cute shirt, obviously got it. But as I was checking out, the girl was super nice and she was just chatting it up and she's like, "What are you here for?" And she kind of got the dress.
Oh, she worked there.
She worked there. Yeah, she was checking me out.
Why did I not catch that?
Oh, yeah. She was working the cashier. She was just being really friendly. It was kind of dead. And I was like, "I'm here for a job interview. I'm interviewing like at RH, like on the corner," because it was near the Aritzia. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, fun." And she asked where I was from, all this stuff. And she was like, "Are you here alone?" And I was like, "Actually, I am." She's like, "Well, what are you doing?" And I was like, "To be honest, like I'm looking for plans. Like if you have any I said if you have any recommendations, because I didn't want to be like, if you want to hang out, like let me know. Right.
Right.
But she was like, "Do you like to party?" And I said, girl,
You said,
I'm here to party. What do you mean? Like, of course.
Yeah.
Because I had told her I lived in Manhattan prior, and she was like, let's go out. I'll give you my phone number. Text me. And I was like, cool. Because Thursday was Cinco de Mayo. And my interview was Thursday afternoon. So I was like, let me get through this interview, and then let's go party.
Did you end up going out with her?
Yeah.
See, I didn't get that tea yet.
I was saving it for the pod.
I know. I'm glad you did. Okay, continue.
Okay, so that was just, if you think you can't talk to everyone, and I will say an overall takeaway I got from Nashville is everyone was so friendly and so nice, and that's why I love the South. No shade to Northerners. I'm not saying they're not nice, because they are nicer than you think, but like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I also don't know if I was on something, if I was just fresh blood and people recognized that I was new, but people stopped me everywhere I went just to have a conversation or say hi or like asked to do something. And that, like, sure, she was the only one that like gave me her phone number, but when we went out, I met some of her friends and got their phone number, and just like, I don't know, like, I've made a lot of friends.
This is making me remember when we went to this smoothie place, and we talked about asking that girl to be our friend for years, and then we never did.
Yes.
This is giving me like, this is what could have happened if we asked her to be our friend vibe.
Yes. And I was, I don't know who I was telling this to, but I feel like this is just going to become more common in our 20s, especially as you are moving to your first job, as you are trying to get settled and find a place. Like, everyone is in the same boat. Like, you are just trying to grow a community, have good friends, reliable people. And honestly, if I were to move there, like, maybe her and I become better friends. I don't know. Maybe we never speak again. Like, that's also fine.
Yeah.
She had a good time. I had a good time. That was a takeaway. So that was Wednesday. Thursday comes around, and that's when my in-person interview is. And I'm interviewing to be an interior designer at this large company that's very fun, and it makes me excited. And it just went so well. It wasn't an hour and a half. It was a pretty long time.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's long, which I feel like is good, because it means they like wanted to talk more and ask you more questions instead of like already knowing in the first 30 minutes that you suck. Like, I feel like they would just be like, okay, thanks for coming by.
Yeah. And the one takeaway I got is that, like, I love the company. Like, I want to work for this company one day, whether it's now, whether it's in the future, like, whether it's in Nashville, whether it's in other locations. Like, this company is amazing, specifically for design, what they stand for, the innovations
I was gonna say, why do you love them so much?
In the space. And I wrote down this quote because in my interview, the woman that was interviewing me, we had lots of conversations. And I also really liked it. If you don't know, I did my senior thesis on the importance of company culture as well as the interview process and why a lot of people do it wrong. This company really values you as a person. And sure, they care about why you're qualified, but at the end of the day, the people is what makes up the experience they have and like the morals they hold. So they really cared about me as a person, which is just huge for me as a human. Like, I want to work for a brand that cares about that. And so she was asking me, she's like, here, we have this motto, if you don't love us, leave us. And it just really spoke to me because one of my questions back to her was, I love that motto. Do you think it's rolled over into your personal life working here for so many years? And she was like, yeah, sometimes when I'm arguing with my husband, I'll catch myself doing that. But it's also really helped me, like, as a woman, stand up for myself and like hold those values in my life. And I have personally, I've never phrased it like that, but I've always been like an all or nothing kind of girl. You're either in my life or you're not. So the fact that that could be reflected in my work and allow me to grow in that aspect, I was like, I'm in. And I feel like that was also kind of God in a way, just giving me a sign
to be like, this company is for you. Yeah.
Well, and even like, this company's not only for me, but like, I think I needed to hear that about other things. And it was the first week that I kind of like felt this weight lifted off my shoulder in a true non-caring aspect about other things that have been going on in my life that have been weighing on me. And I still care about them. I still hope, like, different convos. But I was just like, wow.
That's cool, though. That's cool. I've never heard that either, but that's really cool.
Yeah, and her follow-up quote was, we're not here to make people like us. They either do or you don't. And I'm like, so true. You don't have to be liked by everyone. And not only do they mean that in a company way, as far as like serving your customers, but also their employees, because she was like, if you take this role and maybe don't love the position, like, we're here to find you a position that you eventually love.
Yeah.
Sure, it might take time, but she's also like, if you realize you're maybe not meant for this company, she's like, I want to help you find a job that you do love at a different company. And for someone to admit that, and like, she's like, we're just here to help people with like a similar mindset. And I was like,
yeah, most people don't say it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
And recognizing as a brand, as a company, as this huge enterprise of like changing the world, that if they do better the people within, they are bettering the brand and the company as a whole. That's all I could ever ask for.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that was the interview takeaway. But not only did I interview at the Nashville location while I was there, I have been in talks with a couple of their other locations, and I had 2 interviews for one, and another interview for a different location for the same company. And the one branch that I had 2 interviews with, I don't think I've ever wanted anything more in my life. I don't want to get too much into detail about it because I don't want to jinx it.
You're right.
But I did 1, 2, 3. I did 4 interviews while I was there.
That's wild. That's a lot.
But I will say, and I don't think I've told you this, the one that I really want, you know where it's at.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, okay.
Right.
The girl that did my first interview there, while I was in Nashville at least, she's a Parsons alumni.
Oh, you did tell me this.
Yeah. Well, and we just instantly bonded, and she was like, we really want you to join this team. Like, we know what you've gone through. She's like, if you can do and graduate from Parsons, like, you can do this. And she just was rooting for me. She helped me so much. She cares. Like, this team has envisioned me as like a designer in their team, and like who I would work with and talk with, and has advocated for me to do more than I even went in hoping for. And like, that's why I want to work for that branch specifically. Like,
and isn't that the job at that branch like the next level of the job that you would get in Nashville?
Yeah,
it's like a one step above. So if you got it, you're already like ahead.
Yeah,
which would be cool. And it's cool that they're even like they want you to have a job that would be the next step kind of thing.
Yeah. So, and I also really love them because they are very proactive I met with them on Thursday. On Thursday, they scheduled an interview for me with Friday, the following day, and next Thursday.
Yeah, that's really good that they're like so responsive and on it, and they're like, we want to get this done.
Yeah. And for someone to say like, we want you, like, I want you back.
You're like, same, ditto. Yeah, that's cool.
So those are the big job takeaways. I'm reading my notes here. The last thing I'll kind of end up on is that I mentioned it earlier, but I just felt like the version of myself that I know I am, and I strive to be every day there. I think part of it was the Nashville environment, and I could see myself thriving there. Yeah. And it was great. So Thursday, I guess, I had those 2 interviews, and then I met up with that girl, and we went out because it was Cinco de Mayo. So we partied a little bit. Nothing crazy. Yeah. Because Friday I did have 2 other interviews. So Friday I did the 2 other interviews, and then afterwards I toured an apartment because I was like, really great. I found a potential neighborhood I would want to live in if I could afford and get what I want amenity wise. But I will say, and not just in Nashville, I'm aware it's everywhere right now, inflation is
expensive. Yeah.
And I'm currently looking at living alone, so
that's even more expensive.
So yeah. And I don't know, but I was telling my parents as I was like debriefing them about what I saw. If you knew the apartment I lived in before in New York, it didn't have any kind of amenities, any kind of like security. And it was fine. It was a great first apartment. And for New York, it was a great deal. It had natural light. It was clean when we got it. Like, love. But it's just such a step up. Anything that I'm looking at that it excites me. And I don't know, just all the stuff. You know what's so funny?
What?
I just posted today for podcast listeners like my Nashville recap on my stories, and my aunt just DM'd me and she said, I have to ask, why the trip to Nashville?
That's so
like
funny.
right now. I was like, doesn't everyone want to know?
As we're talking about it, that's hilarious. That's cute.
Yeah. And so then Friday night I was going to go out with one of Hannah's friends and go line dancing. That didn't happen, which is okay. But ended up going out to Broadway with some of the people that I met the night before. Just for a little bit because I had to get up and have an early flight. And then I flew Saturday morning from Nashville to Raleigh for Hannah's graduation. And you can take it from here.
Okay. So I graduated, if you didn't know.
Take a shot every time she says that, this podcast.
And we did stuff for it, if you didn't know. So I'll start. We did stuff. I'll start. I guess I'll just like give a little quick weekend recap. So my graduation was on Saturday, but my family, so my mom lives, she lives here, but my brother, my dad's girlfriend live in Wilmington. So they came into town on Friday night. And Friday night was chill. I have some cousins and, my aunt and uncle live here. So we went out to dinner with them, just to hang out, catch up, and we haven't really seen them in a while, so we went to dinner, and it was actually really good. We went to, you've never been, we tried to go on my birthday to Cowfish. Yeah. But we went there, and it was actually so good. I was shook. It was like one of the best times it's ever been.
Dang, I want to go because I've heard good things.
It is, and now you like sushi, so.
Dude, I have been low-key I want it.
Their sushi slaps. It was
because
like,
it's low FODMAPs, baby. Like,
oh, it was so good. But yeah, we had dinner. It was amazing.
I will say it blows my mind. Like, it's beef or like steak and burgers plus sushi. Like the combo, I wouldn't have guessed.
Right, and both are amazing. Like the burgers and the sushi are both like top tier, and I'm like,
that's a hot take.
I know. It was shocking. But it was amazing, and then we went bowling afterwards. And it was actually really fun, and it's hilarious because Al, my boyfriend, the first time we went bowling, I'm pretty sure he scored like a 43. Like he is a terrible bowler normally, and we went bowling like a few times in the beginning of our relationship, and he sucked. Like he was absolutely horrible. It was like a child was playing, and I didn't judge him, but I was just like, dang, bowling really is not your thing. Well, he won this past weekend.
Oh, that's right.
And he like has gotten really good suddenly. So I'm like, don't lie to me.
Maybe
are you
he's
practicing on the weekends? Like,
yeah.
Are you practicing when I'm not with you? Because that's what it seems like. And I know they have a bowling alley on base. So I'm like, do not
honestly probably
keep secrets from me. That's like his deepest, darkest secret. Like he tells me he's going to bed at 8 p.m. and then he really just hits the bowling alley until
he's
10.
in a league. Yeah.
Like seriously, I honestly would not be shocked.
I could see him like really rocking, like, you know how they wear those bowling shirts
bowling outfits. Yeah. The shirts, yeah.
I could see him busting it out one day and be like, there's something I haven't told you.
Right. Oh my gosh. My jaw would genuinely drop. But it was a lot of fun. And all of my aunt and uncle and my cousin and her husband, they both got me a graduation gift, which like, one, was not expecting at all. Two, I honestly like purposely made plans with them on Friday night instead of Saturday so that they like wouldn't feel like they had to get me a gift. But they did anyway, and it was really sweet. And it was honestly both very good gifts. Like I keep looking over there because they're sitting on my floor.
What'd they get you? Share with the class.
My aunt and my uncle got me this like really nice basket full of like bath skincare, like
love a good basket.
Bath products, which we know I'm a hoe for a bath, and I was running out of my stuff.
She is.
So it was like a huge basket too, like of all kinds of stuff, like scrub, body wash, bubbles, perfume, this.
Good thing I didn't get you that because I thought about it.
Really? Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
The whole thing. And then my cousin and her husband, that sounds so weird. They just got married.
That's
recently.
right.
But they got me a cute little basket with some champagne, a book, a candle.
Wow, those are both good gifts.
And a really nice card. It's funny because my cousin and my mom got me the same exact card.
That's right.
Remember? It was fun.
Yes.
So that was
It
Friday.
happens.
It does happen. And I know they both got them at Target. And so it's not surprising because Target's the spot.
When I was a kid for my birthday, I'll tell the story real quick and then I'll shut up.
No, you're good.
Both of my grandparents got me the same card, and one lived in Florida and one lived in Ohio. So the
Oh my
fact that
gosh.
they went to like the same kind of store and picked the same card
And picked
I was
the
like,
same one.
Did you plan this? Like,
That is
no
really
way.
funny.
But
Yeah, that's funny. They knew what was good. They both knew. They knew.
guess they knew me because I
They
liked
did.
it.
So that was Friday night, and then Saturday was obviously the day that I graduated. I had 2 different ones. In the morning, we had like the big university one with like literally everybody, like all the undergrads, all the masters, all the doctorate degrees, like the whole shebang. And that one was really, really, really long. And honestly, I didn't really want to go to begin with because I had another one that was just for psychology later in the day. But I'm glad that I went, even though it was long and boring.
Yeah.
Because they had a couple like guest speakers that were actually like very like cool speeches, and I'm glad I got to hear their stories and what they had to say. And it was just fun to have pictures and videos of like the big ceremony. Yeah. So I'm glad I went. And then we went straight to the one for just the psych majors, which is a lot smaller. And that one is where I got to actually like walk across the stage, shake the dude's hand, get my diploma, get my picture taken, and mosey along my way. And it's funny because at both graduations, you're like waiting around and standing in lines and like waiting to go in. And I made friends in both of the lines. And it's like, how come we're going to be friends like the day we're leaving? Like, it's like, hi, we're friends now in line and we're cool. Nice to meet you. And now we're leaving and I'm never going to see you again.
I think it's because the hindsight. When you're a freshman, you don't.
Exactly. So that was fun. The graduations were cool. And afterwards, we went to my mom's house, and that's where Kenna met up with us. Alex met up with us. My brother, I guess my dad and Nicole ended up coming there after we got there. And then a little later, Madeline showed up before we went out. But we all just hung out. We were like pre-gaming and just chilling. And we were actually supposed to go to a good dinner because we had reservations. But then
don't hit on the pizza.
It got canceled. Well, no. It was like we were supposed to go to like a fancy dinner.
Yeah, and I will say I felt bad about that, which wasn't anyone's fault.
Yeah, but it got canceled because when I reserved it weeks ago, I think they only had outdoor seating, and I wanted to sit outside anyway because they have a really, really nice patio with like super nice fire pits, and like it's just really cozy. But it ended up raining, and so they canceled our reservation, and it was just really sad because I was really excited to eat that food. But we ended up just ordering a bunch of pizza to my mom's house, which was actually fun, and it worked out in the end. Yeah. And I think it just made it easier for like the whole planning purposes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had pizza, played Cards Against Humanity with my family, which it's so funny because Cards Against Humanity is fun always, obviously, but you know how like when you play with the same group of friends 10 times with the same cards, it's like still fun, but it's like nothing new. You kind of know what everyone's going to say and pick and play.
Hot take, I don't enjoy it.
You hate Cards Against Humanity?
I don't hate it. I would just rather do
something else.
In that setting, there was really not much else we could do besides that.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying I hated that, but like
yeah.
You normally will not catch me suggesting it.
That's funny. I thought it was fun though because none of those people who were in that room played together, so it ended up like being a funny dynamic, and it was a good time. And then after that, we went out downtown. Just your casual Raleigh vibes. We went. What did we? We didn't even. What did we even?
We went to Cornerstone and the next place,
and then Dogwood. Yeah, is there even anything to say about that? I feel like no. I mean, it was fun. We all just hung out, talked, chilled, danced. My cousin, one of my cousins came and met up.
I'll say as like a third party, it was a good time. Because I feel like I got to talk to everyone more than usual. Like I talked to your mom a lot. I talked to your dad really for like the first time, which wasn't super, like I didn't talk to him as much as I talked to your mom, but that's because I don't know him as well. Yeah. Got to talk to Al. Got to talk to, I had like moments as like a third party in it that I talked to every single one that's like you wanted there for you just and got to know them better, which I feel like these events are about that. It's not, well, it's about you, but
right.
It's not about getting super lit. It's just like being with good people because you know. I would say it was a good time, good vibes.
It was fun.
Cornerstones,
It was fun.
I'll just say it's not what it used to be.
I know, it's so disappointing. I don't know what happened to them. Maybe I don't know if it's COVID that like made them become smaller and like shut down all that, like half the place in the like back area where like the actual music was bumping. But
I do love the fires though.
I like it for the like casual first place. We're getting started and we're just chatting kind of vibe. But if you want any kind of litness, you better go somewhere else.
Yeah. I also feel like we could have established a better vibe check. 'Cause I think people went in, were like, oh, we're going to make this lit. And certain people didn't deliver.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's always, when you go out with a group of more than 3 people, I feel like that's inevitable.
I know, but.
Not that it couldn't have been avoided, but you know.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It honestly took it out of me. Like, not even because of like the alcohol consumption, because like, sure, I was not sober all night, but I did not get like hammered or anything, and I was pretty much fine the next day. But just like waking up so early for my graduation and then staying out till like 3, it took it out of me. I was exhausted.
You had a long day.
I really did. And then Sunday was Mother's Day, and so I hung out with my mom and Sam, and we just like hung out at her house, and we just had dinner and did all of that, and I literally fell asleep while we were watching a movie because I was so tired. But that's just, it was a full weekend of activities, to say the least.
Yeah. I will say events like that, I feel like are draining no matter how long or short they are, because especially when it's about you, like you have to entertain everyone. You have to make sure everyone gets along. You have to like
facilitate it all.
Yeah. And it's more than just, you have to be like the best version of yourself, because everyone's like, oh my gosh, happy, congratulations. And
it's true. It's true.
Almost more so than even like a birthday. Like, but
it was fun though. Overall, it was a great weekend. I'm glad that you and Alex were able to come in from out of town.
Yeah.
And that like everybody
was
able to make it and hang out. It was a lot of fun, and I appreciate people driving far and wide to see me.
True. I got on a plane. So,
well, you drove to get on a plane and then come back on the plane.
I know. I couldn't have come back though. I could have waited till Sunday.
I mean, yeah, true. But it was good. And I feel like that's all that we have to say about our like weekend recaps.
You know what blew my mind?
What?
The thing you told me that you're like, this is gonna happen. It happened.
Oh yeah,
I didn't realize y'all's conversation in the bathroom was about that until you told me the next morning.
Oh,
yeah. There was a point in the weekend where Hannah was like, "I'm gonna tell you this is gonna happen just to prepare you, and like I'll let you know when it does." And I was like, "I don't think so, because homegirly is."
No, you were wrong. I know. Trust me. I know.
I would assume someone would pick her over me.
No, not him.
Oh.
No. And also, I'll tell you. I'll elaborate when we get off of here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you brought it up the morning after, and I was like, I had no idea. Like that entire time we were sitting there, I was like,
you were clueless. You didn't even know.
No, it like crossed my mind, but I was like, nah.
But you didn't.
Like,
yeah.
I was like, how did it happen that fast? He hadn't even gone that long.
Oh yeah, we knew.
Like,
yeah, that's funny.
I feel like that keeps happening low key places. I can't go anywhere.
I mean, better feel like, well, maybe it's not better that way than nothing, but maybe it is. I don't know.
The tides are turning.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I will say in Nashville, oh my gosh.
There was just people out the wazoo, out the woodworks.
Out the wazoo.
Yeah.
There were some things that I received and saw. I was like, wow.
Forward. Oh gosh, I don't know if I want to know about that. I do, but
I was like, I didn't even ask for this. Yeah, I know, not on
she
here.
Said,
but
I didn't ask for this. Most of the time, you don't.
You never do.
Okay, moving gears onto the Q&A, because I feel like now we're at the perfect time where we can each ask the question and be like right at the hour mark. So. Yeah. We have just like a few random questions just to add some more zhuzh to this.
Because if you haven't listened to last week's episode, go listen to it, because
it's really good.
I just listened to it today.
Yeah.
Because we filmed it so long ago, I forgot, and I was like, this is good.
I know.
Good.
I haven't listened to it all the way through, but I remember when we were done filming it, I was like, dang, that was like low-key really good.
Yeah. I remember thinking in the moment, like, if this was someone else's podcast, I'd be like, oh, that was a good episode.
Yeah. Which is easy to say it's easy to be interested in our own podcast because we know what we're talking about, but it's different when it's like a random person who doesn't know. So
yeah. Shout out to the new listeners, because
oh my gosh,
today we each had instances where people like hit us up telling us that they were like listening or like looking forward to it. So
we
love that.
Thank you. Okay, do you want to start or do you want me to start? I'll start and ask you since I just talked a lot.
Sure.
So this one is just kind of on the theme of summer, since we kind of talked about talking about that but didn't. Do you have any fun summer plans? / if you don't, what are your goals for the summer? Like, not in the sense that like you have a summer off because you're about to start working probably, but like, do you have any goals, personal goals, life goals, whatever?
Yeah. Kind of what we touched on last episode when we talked about like the connotations around hot girl summer. I brought up the point, and I'm only saying this because I just listened to it. I brought up the point as when you get older, I think summer is glamorized for specifically kids in school, which is great for them to have that time off. But as an adult, you have to find joy in like your everyday things because you don't get 2 or 3 months off.
Yeah.
And obviously right now I would be okay if I didn't have a day off for a year because I want to start working so bad. So my goal is to start working full-time in a career and then also move. Like I'm gonna probably move in a short period of time, hopefully by the end of the month, if not soon, quickly into June, which is exciting. I just feel it in my gut. Also,
I feel like it'll happen fast regardless of when it happens, whether it's now or in a month. I feel like it'll be like quick.
Yeah, well, and this is the first time I know for a fact it's going to happen, whether it's through these opportunities that I'm interviewing for or myself.
Or you just decide, yeah.
June, I will be somewhere different than Wilmington, North Carolina, period.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's for one of those. But I would say personal goals was to obviously do that successfully, put myself out there. Kind of on the note of Nashville, I do want to continue making new friends and put myself out there in those ways. I also want to really connect and like build the friendships that I do have. I feel not that I've been a bad friend, but I definitely have been open and honest with everyone that like this isn't the version of our friendship that I'm super proud of because I've been going through a lot and I definitely am over that hump, specifically after last week. But I want to like show up again for my friends, like in the full capacity that I can. And then my last kind of thing that I've been thinking about recently, kind of goes hand in hand. I want to spend more time and like go get back into like my passion and excitement for like making content and just like being creative. But also I like when I view social media in that way rather than like constantly checking it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm on it too much now, like doing too much looking and comparing lives. And I want to get out of that habit because I only do that right now because I am too much free time. I'm bored.
Right. Yeah.
I want to fuel my free time better.
Okay.
Because I know
That's
better.
A good one. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
For you, being that this is a podcast, I know something we have talked about doing in the future is potentially having guests.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a dream guest that you'd love to have one day, or something that you look forward about having guests in the future? Obviously, we're not big enough right now, but
are we talking realistic, like a guest that could realistically happen, or like anybody, regardless of if it could actually happen or not?
I think it'd be fun if you did one like unrealistic, like a celebrity or someone that you really look up to, and then maybe like a friend or something.
Oh, okay. Who
do you think would provide like?
I think Sam would provide, because Sam's just, he has some wild opinions and thoughts about like just like conspiracy stuff. He's like so into that. He could talk for hours about like all the conspiracy things that he reads.
Oh wow, I didn't even know.
Whatever. And he's just, I don't know. He could talk to a brick wall, and he's he's like a star in front of a camera, in front of a microphone, in front of any kind of place where he's putting himself out there for entertainment. He just thrives. So I feel like he would be good as like somebody that I know. I mean, he is my family member, so that's not really like a friend.
No, but if that's who you want, or like who you think,
but that's who I would probably pick for somebody I know, because the other person is literally the co-host of this podcast. So like, you can't be a guest. Like, I can't be like Kenna because she's like, this is your podcast.
We could do an episode where like I interview you. Like,
yeah, we should do that. Yeah, we should do that sometime. We should.
That could be practice for whenever like our first guests happen too.
True.
I think the formatting will be so much different.
I think so too. And then I guess I'll say like my obviously like out of this world dream guest would be Drake, and that's not even because. What do you think I was going to say, Claudia?
Yes.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, sure, if she wants to be on it. Hello, Claudia.
She heard that.
You can be on here.
Champagne like, Poppy, if you're
Drake
listening.
would be my absolute dream one. One, because like he does not do interviews.
No.
So I think it'd be cool to just like hear what he has to say about anything.
True.
And also, so I'm obsessed with him, obviously.
Drake, you trying to give her the Birkin collection or what? Is she waiting?
So I would just die to talk to him. And then
would
like
you?
What?
If you ever met him in person, would you show him your tattoos?
Then depends. I've thought about this. I've literally had dreams about this.
Really? I've never thought about it till right now.
Oh no, I've thought about this every day of my life. Like, because if I show him, he could be flattered and it could be cool, and he could be like, "Oh, that's sick," or he could be like, "That's weird." I feel like it depends on how I play it off too. It also depends on the situation in which we're meeting.
Yeah.
Because like if I let's say he was selling tickets for a meet and greet or whatever, and I bought them, I would probably show him.
Right, because that's fan behavior.
Right,
you know,
but
you're
if
not like
I ran into him at a bar and like we started talking, me thinking this could actually happen, I don't think I would.
You wouldn't be like, "Oh, by the way, I have a tattoo."
No. Actually, absolutely not.
Okay.
Actually, no. Unless I'm wearing
you gotta
a tank
know
top
if you have a chance or not.
If I'm wearing short sleeves, though, like how do I hide it? It would just like.
That's different. That's like him saying it. You're not like, "Hey,
Oh yeah, no, I would not. No.
Right.
But yeah,
because if you were going in with fan behavior, like you got nothing to lose. Be memorable, okay? Like he'll always remember you as that girl that has the tattoo. But if like you're at the club one day with like LA's Elite or like whatever, if you're in Canada and you just run into the guy, you can't. I don't want to be like no fan behavior.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly.
I might know a track. Can you play me one?
For real. Yeah, exactly. So that's funny. I think I already answered the question. Yeah, I did answer the question. So now
dream guest, yeah.
Drake or Sam. I don't know.
Same difference.
Okay, for you, this question is funny and literally not serious at all, and I only wrote this down because I'm pretty sure that I like said this to you before, but I don't think you answered. And also, this is a dumb question that Al asked me one time, and I wrote it down because it's hilarious. He's so random, and he'll just say random stuff all the time. And one day he asked me, "What animals do I think I could fight bare knuckled, and when?"
I feel like I've heard this. I think.
And so now I'm asking you, what animals do you think you could fight bare knuckled, and when?
Yo,
and you can't say like a goldfish, because like.
Oh, I was gonna say like a bunny.
Oh.
You know I don't give a fuck about bunnies. Sorry.
Oh,
sorry,
sad.
Maddie. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god.
I'm an anti-bunny. They're cute, but don't fuck with me.
Yeah, that's probably a good answer. Bunnies low-key I feel like could get aggressive though. Maybe not. Maybe that's a rabbit. Bunnies and rabbits are different.
I don't care. One solid punch, I'm drop kicking that thing.
You're like, I'll step on you.
I shouldn't have said that. That's a bad image.
Oh, gosh.
Just one solid punch.
You would never actually do it, but like.
Yeah.
But like, just theoretically.
You don't have to wait.
Yeah.
Theoretically. Okay. As far as like, I don't even like the idea of fighting like a large dog. That's why I don't like large dogs, because when I was a kid, my dad, a German Shepherd, like bit his leg, and at the time I was really tiny, so I was like, oh my gosh, he ripped his leg off. Didn't, but like it was traumatizing because I was about the size of the dude's leg. So like,
yeah,
that could have been my whole body. So, and also dogs, don't even get me started on the reptiles. Put a lizard. No, I'm gone. True. I'm out of here. I don't.
A snake would just wrap around your neck and choke you. Like,
I'd almost rather fight a snake than a lizard.
I don't like snakes either,
but
I'd rather fight a turtle than either of those.
Yeah, I would just step on the turtle and go crush.
Oh, that's really sad. I like turtles.
I mean, sorry, but if it was for the death,
she's like, life or death, I'll do anything.
None of those wildcats, they'd rip me apart. Definitely
obviously.
no aquatic animals. I'm not the best swimmer. Like survival mode wise, if you put me in the water, right. On land, sure, give me the whale. Give me the whale.
The whale on land. Well, that's a different story. The whale can't just stand up and walk.
I know I could just give it a little kick.
Honestly, you could just run away, and then that's just that. Like, you don't even have to fight
I guess
it.
if I fought
he
the
would
whale,
never catch you.
The objective would be for him to drown me and me to get it on land. And I think he might,
drown
because
you.
that's how it would work. Because I'd be to kill him, I'd just push him in the water. I couldn't kill him in the ocean.
No, to kill him, you just push him out of the water, and then he'll never be able to breathe again. Oh my gosh, with what? You just have a knife in your.
Oh, you said bare knuckled. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I went. Yeah, okay. Bunny.
Yeah, no weapons.
Okay, well, good talk.
Okay, bunny is the answer.
Yeah. This is a little lighthearted, but I've been noticing recently your TikToks have been popping off.
What's the question?
I realized that as I said it.
Oh, that's all.
How do you feel about it? Do you think you're the next Charlie D'Amelio? That's why.
No. What? No. Because I had like 2 in a row that, or like, I don't know, because I had.
Your average is getting higher.
It's about time. I just opened the TikTok app.
I looked today because I saw your graduation one. I was like, oh, this is cute. And then I like went to look at your profile because sometimes I'd be missing and I don't want to miss one.
Yeah.
But
yeah, my average for the last because when did I post that one? Week has gone up for sure.
See?
And I'm just hoping it stay. I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's a trick. It's a trap. I don't think it's going to stay like that. And I'm not even saying that because I think that like my TikToks are bad or that like whatever. I just don't understand the algorithm and don't know why a TikTok of me zooming in on Ariana Grande's song called Pete Davidson got over 1,000 views, but then I make the same thing about something. I don't know. Like, I just don't get it. I don't know what's going to do well and what's going to not. So I don't think I'm the next anybody, but I hope my average stays and continues to go up. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the fans. Like and subscribe.
I feel like you will. I think you've made some good ones recently.
I hope so.
I'll shut up.
No, you're good. I need to make more because I only have one more in my drafts that I have
You're good about spacing
planned. So I need to film some more. But yeah, I hope it sticks. That would be lovely. And also I think your average has gone up a lot too.
Yeah, but I haven't posted
maybe not in the last week, but
yeah, last week put me behind just because I was busy, but
yeah. Well, because
that one did favors for me, but
yeah, true. Now I'm looking at your TikTok. This is not the time. I can do that later.
If you could be the it girl of one platform, what would it be? Content-wise.
Why do I want to say YouTube?
I mean, monetization-wise probably makes most sense.
Not even, because of that, but also I think I enjoy YouTube more.
Oh, okay.
I think I like making YouTube videos in the process of making and editing a YouTube video, even though it's longer, more than TikToks.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the constant pressure. If you don't post every day, it's no biggie.
Right.
Especially when you have a loyal following.
Exactly.
Where the D'Amelios cranking out several a day.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Okay. My next question, also lighthearted. And I think I know the answer. But sweet or savory?
Savory.
Yeah, I knew it. I don't even know why I asked you. But the fans needed to know.
Yeah, I used to be a sweet. I used to love candy and things like that. But I really just don't enjoy dessert like I used to.
Yeah. And even
a bag of chips though, it's over for you hoes.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. It's an unhealthy obsession. Clip
That's
that.
Funny.
Clip that.
A bag of chips, it's over for you. No, that I knew you were gonna say that, but I just needed it on record because I don't think we have.
No, we haven't
talked about your chip obsession.
Also, hot
maybe
take,
we have.
I don't like chocolate.
Yeah, I know. We've been known. That's
but I was telling the fans.
Oh, I know. They know. Well, they know if it's They don't know. She doesn't like
They don't-
chocolate. Everybody shame her for it. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody
Yeah,
shame
go
her.
throw
Don't be
tomatoes
mean.
in the comments, okay? Okay.
You should, because it's it's not weird, but I don't know many people who like hate it, and I feel like you hate it.
Yeah, I hate it.
I know.
The
That's
things that I don't
suspicious.
like in life are like not liking coffee, watermelon, and chocolate. I feel like
Controversial.
it's controversial.
It is. I don't like it. Those are my least favorite things about you. That you don't like those things.
That's hilarious. That's good.
That's your worst quality.
That's really good. That's
I guess,
hilarious.
Honestly,
that's pretty good.
I was
if
about
that's
to
my worst
say,
quality.
if that was your worst quality, then that's probably actually good for you.
Yo, someone wipe me up if that's the worst you gotta deal with. Come on. Come on.
True.
All right. I'll go. I wrote this question and it's honestly like really deep. Don't know why it just came to mind, but like to change up the pace. The rest are lighthearted, don't worry.
Okay.
Is there anyone in your life that you wish you were closer with and why? I kind of asked this because when I graduated, I remember thinking about who I thought was going to be in my life for this time and like who hasn't. And with you graduating, that's kind of what I thought of it. Or maybe like, is there a friend that you have grown distant from that you wish we were still besties?
I don't really feel this way anymore. Well, that's kind of, I can't even say that though, because if I don't feel it anymore, then like, why would I answer with that? Because I've moved past.
Well,
there's one friend who I was friends with. I was literally best friends with her like my whole entire childhood. And when I was like 16, I think, we like kind of stopped being friends, and we haven't really been friends since. And I, for a long time, like really missed that friendship. And I thought that she was going to be my maid of honor in my wedding, and that like we were going to be best friends for the rest of our lives. And it's like, that's my spot, bitch. Do not come for me. But I really did. Like, I thought we were going to be friends for literally ever. And when we stopped being friends, I was extremely, extremely hurt and upset because we were so close. We were like literally inseparable. And for a really long time, like I wished that we were still friends in any capacity. And that was like 6 years ago now. So I'm kind of over it and I moved past it. So I wouldn't say now I still like wish that we were besties. But I wish that the way that things ended turned out differently, or that like,
you wish you still spoke at least.
Like we don't even talk, period, point blank, period, never. Except for like once. We've spoken like twice in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Or maybe 3 times, but that's pushing it. I truly, truly thought that we would be friends forever, and it didn't work out. I feel like I'm talking about a relationship. Like it didn't work out, which it didn't. And I have no beef with her. Like, and I was saying that I wish that the way it ended had turned out differently, regardless of if we were still friends now or not. We just like, I don't know.
Friendships
it was just
like that are kind of like a relationship in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people in your life that I would say you consider like your best friends. Like I hope you have as much consideration for them as you do a relationship. Sure, it's not romantic, but like,
yeah.
It honestly sometimes hurts even worse.
I know. Yeah, it definitely sucked, and it is what it is now. But that would probably be like the main one that I can think of when I think about that.
I forgot about her.
I know, me too, until you said that. And then I was like, oh.
Shout out to her. I hope she's doing well.
I know. I hope so too. I mean, yeah,
I don't even know her like that at all.
I know.
I don't think I've ever met her in person.
I don't think you have either.
No, I just...
You just know.
Hey, guys, it's bad. I gotta go.
Okay. My last, or not last, I have 2 more. My next question is, do you have any... Now, granted, your graduation was a little bit different than mine because you didn't have a graduation.
What graduation?
But do you have any, like, fun stories or just, like, memorable moments from, like, that week of, like, grad festivities, even though you didn't have a full-on graduation?
I was living.
She said I was living.
It was such a good week because Maddie and I were living our best lives, doing great things. You came into town the weekend before, so I count that. And I had a great weekend that weekend. Got to do all the things. And then Colton also graduated, so I got to go hang out with him and all his friends, which is always fun, and live vicariously through that. And we traveled up to Boston directly after. So like it was another...
I forgot about that.
It was a world tour. And then I will say the one thing that I did that I loved, I felt like I kind of overshared my graduation on social media to make up for the fact of not having one, and people were just so kind and supportive. So I really felt loved, even though like the day of my graduation, it was just me, my parents, and Maddie sitting on the couch. So like super thankful for them to show up and do that. Super thankful for Maddie for being down to just have a good time that week, because we went out to dinners, we went to the clubs, we did what we could, and just had a good time. And then I will say the product design program all met up and had like one last get together with all the seniors that week. So that was really fun, because that was the first time all year I had seen all of them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was the week that I went to the Yankees game, got drunk at Javelina's and had case. Like, you can't tell me I wasn't living. Okay. It was just
you were thriving.
It was highlight. It was all good things. So yeah, it was a great week. Definitely wish I had a graduation, but looking back, like doing all those things like made up for it.
Yeah,
So,
you made the most of it and still had a good time.
buffed out.
Cool. Good.
Yeah. And my
Figured that was
picks
on
are
theme.
fire. I still love my grad picks.
Oh, true. I still haven't even taken mine, but I'm like, I hope I
wanna
get
see
good
them.
ones.
They're not even done. I just want to see them.
I know.
Okay. I also have two more for you. If you could only go to one store forever and you could only buy things specifically like clothes wise, I'm not going to make you pick like groceries, because then we all know you pick like a Target or a Walmart.
Yeah.
But like if you could only shop at one store forever for your wardrobe for the rest of your life, accessories, shoes, clothes, what would it be?
Do I have to pick something that's like in my price range? Because if I'm being... Oh, okay.
This is like a dream world.
Oh, okay. Why do I like want to say somewhere like Nordstrom?
Oh, that's resourceful.
Because they have everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Only because they have everything, not because I probably honestly have nothing from Nordstrom. I don't have a single thing from there. I don't think. Maybe like one shirt. Yeah. So I'm not even like a Nordstrom stan or fan, but I'm just thinking realistically.
They carry nice brands.
They have a bunch of different brands. They have shoes. They have clothes. They have bags. They have makeup. They have home stuff. They have accessories.
Yeah.
They have everything.
I thought you were going to pick Target.
I mean, yeah, but no. Realistically speaking. And Nordstrom has like nicer things for like businessy stuff, fancier stuff, but they also have like cute and casual. So probably Nordstrom.
That's a good answer. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Me either, until I did. I don't even know how that came to my mind.
It's funny how things just come up.
Oh yeah, it is really funny how life works that way. Okay, I have one last question for you, and it's actually kind of related to clothes also. What is a style trend right now that is like poppin' that you're loving? Why'd your jaw drop? Because you were going to ask me, or because you were just...
question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
So your question was, what style trend do I not like right now?
Oh, what style trend do you love right now? Like, what style trend are you like, yes, this is it, and I want to like, partake?
I am so thankful people are dressing up again. Like, don't get me wrong, I am a hoe for some good athleisure. But I'm so thankful people are putting on outfits, putting on dresses, being a little over the top. And I wouldn't say, I think the Y2K is really in, and that's not personally my thing. But at least girls are getting out there and like wearing heels again, wearing skirts, wearing like matching sets, doing the blazer. Like, thank you for dressing up. Yeah. I will say recently, I've kind of been into the bright colors. I don't even want to admit it because it's off brand. But yeah. I enjoy seeing it on other people. I enjoy when I do occasionally wear it. So I'll say that. A pop of color.
That's good. I think pops of color suit you. Even though the neutrals suit you, like the green that you're wearing right now just looks really good on you.
Thank you. I have gotten so many. I literally got this Saturday, and I've gotten too many compliments on it since having it. It's a good one. I think I'm realizing I like neutrals with a pop of color. Like, just pick one. Like,
I feel
we'll
that.
do a green moment or a pink moment. Like, with the shoes.
You're doing a Cosmo and Wanda moment right now.
I was literally waiting for you to say that because I took a pic and I was like, Cosmo and Wanda, you ain't slick.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Okay, well, my last question for you, I wasn't going to relate it specifically to fashion, but you can choose how you want to do it. I said, what's a trend you don't like right now?
I absolutely I'm passionate, okay? I despise and I don't know if I would call this a trend. It is a trend. F this trend. I hate it. That stupid TikTok sound that's like, my money don't jiggle jiggle, it fold. I like to see you wiggle.
The face you just made.
Fuck that. I hate that. I absolutely hate it.
That's hilarious.
It makes my blood boil. I'm holding the microphone like so far away from my face because I'm yelling.
I will do that dance tomorrow just for you.
You should. And honestly, clip that for a TikTok because I
the money don't.
I hate it.
The face you made was like so stern and your voice got so low.
I freaking hate that sound so much. I don't know why, but it makes me cringe. And every time I hear it, I just want to disappear. I hate it. Fuck that. Absolutely not. And I don't even like to say that word on here, but no. No, ma'am. I don't like the song.
The dance is a little cheesy, to be honest.
They both are cheesy, but when I hear the song, even if it's not the dance, even if somebody's just using the song for a different TikTok in hopes that they'll go viral,
right?
The song makes my ears it's like nails on a chalkboard.
I wonder what the OG is because I don't know.
It's those like chicken shop date interview things. There's like a girl on YouTube who does like interviews people in a chicken shop.
No, I have not seen this.
You can look it up. It's like a thing where somebody I don't know. And it was a guy.
No, it's in my head.
It was an interview, and a guy was saying this, and then somebody took that audio and like distorted it and made it sound like this.
Oh, like a beat. Oh,
yes. And now it's just, I don't know what about it is so annoying to me, but it just really. I hear it and it ruins my next 5 minutes of my life. So
well, she got passionate about that one, ladies and gents.
Yeah, so that one I absolutely despise.
Wow.
So yeah, thanks for asking because I was actually ranting about that to Sam yesterday.
Oh, good. I'm glad I could, get it off your chest for you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Was that your last question?
That was my last question.
Okay. I don't have any more either, so we're done.
That's going to wrap up this podcast. We hope you enjoyed our little weekly wrap up, and we've really been enjoying the random Q&As. Good conversations have been coming out of it. So
it's true.
Let us know.
Might be seeing some more of those, or if you have any questions that you want us to answer. I think I know what we might do
next game.
Next game? You mean next week?
Well, that gave it away, but next week.
I was going to say you combined the idea with the next week.
I just think too fast. My words get ahead of me. Okay.
Right.
But yeah, let us know what you do like about each episode or don't like about each episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow and rate us on Spotify, Apple, wherever you watch your podcast. Really, if you watch anywhere else, what you doing? Sure. Follow us on all the things, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye. Yeah.